Hello, America. I hope you're doing well. Welcome to my review of 90 Day Fiance Before the 90 Days, Season 4, Episode I Don't Know. I'm not saying that I just woke up. I ain't got time for all this, okay? I ain't gonna tell y'all what's going on because I ain't got time for all that, okay? We ain't got time to be talking. We got time to be doing, okay? Also, I don't have my notes up. I'd love to let you all know that I, Camera, run a jewelry store. These are not earrings that you can find. And I do have a sale going on. You have one more week to get 10% off of your entire purchase. You can find beautiful pieces. Oh, can my hand get out the way? Like this, or a beautiful necklace like this, or a beautiful necklace that's not on my website. This necklace is not on my website, but I'm going to do it as soon as I put this up. Like this, a lot of pendant necklaces. I also recently made some earrings like this that are backwards, like this that are still backwards. But yeah, some earrings like this that kind of, maybe, sort of have. Oh, and I also made this. It's like a shark tooth. If y'all want a shark tooth, go to my website. It's not really a shark tooth, and I wouldn't want to make shark tooth items. Anyway, also I want to let you know that I have a podcast. It's called Talking Candidly with Camera. You can find it right up here, where we discuss where I discuss candid things going on in my life, and we just sit here and talk. Anyway, let's get started. Now you see how they showed Darcy first, right? Because Darcy's that bitch. Anyway, y'all, this is 2 hours. This show. I know I say this like every other week, but this 2 hours. I keep telling my husband I don't want to watch Us because I'm like, it's long, or we rewatch Us. Like, oh, it's long, but I'll be watching the whole movie every Sunday. We can't have that. Anyway, let's talk about Michael and Angela. Oh, sorry. I'm so sorry. I forgot that he existed. Let's talk about Caesar. The man is back. He's back. Okay. He's back. He's back in the United States. His friend picks him up. His friend is like, tell me what happened. He's like, she ain't show up. His friend is like, okay, so is this the confirmation that you need to leave this girl alone? And he says, no, no. Maybe I'll go to Ukraine, and love can make a way. So love can make a way, y'all. So Caesar Caesar's gonna try to make a way with love. And I was thinking, when he went up in that apartment, I said, did he have an eviction notice on that door? Or was this all a game? Because I thought he ain't pay his rent before he went to Mexico. Anyway, that's it. So if you came for a Caesar based episode, I can't give you that. Okay. Um, Avery and Omar. They are going to the beach because it's her last full day in Lebanon before she leaves. They're in the car, and she asks him, will he cry? And he says, men never cry. And she says, never. And he says in his confessional, it's up to the men to be strong because ladies are emotional. You know what? Them men never crying. The men that never cry are the men that are fucked up. If you feel as though crying, which is a normal human emotion, is something that your ass can't do, nah, nah. But Avery is 19. I feel at 19 I was the same way. I was married, but at 19 I was like, oh, okay, it's fine. But if I'd gotten married right now and a nigga come to me and say I don't cry, nah, because you got to take that emotional that emotionalness out some way, and I ain't gonna be here to find out how. Anyway, um, so they go out to dinner, and he asks something about the visa. I can't remember what he asked about the visa, how long or something that she couldn't ask. Oh yeah, I think how long. She said, I don't have specific answers for you because I haven't seen the immigration lawyer, but it may take around a year. It may not. It may take around 6 or 7 years. Okay. Anyway, um, then she's like, you don't even have any emotion. He don't. Okay. He don't. And when I say any emotion, do he smile? My husband was like, do this man even smile? I don't know. Who knows? Um, she's like, you don't have any emotion, and it seems as though, I just don't want you to be using me and care more about the visa than about me leaving. Then she says in the confessional, things that people said really do be playing in my head. Girl, you got married to this man. It's too late. It's too late. If this man is playing you, guess what? Guess who's being played? You. You. Cause anyway, he goes over there and he says, I'ma miss you, and if you feel like I'm using you, then I don't need to go to the United States because I don't want people to think that way. And then they are together and in love, and I'm texting my husband to make some food. Excuse me. I'm so sorry. I bought some, I'm sorry. I bought some almond milk creamer because apparently, and this is a little TMI, but apparently, I don't drink milk. I don't, sometimes I eat ice cream when I got some brownies, but I try not to drink milk, and I get regular creamer, dairy creamer, French vanilla, and bro, I don't think I can do that no more. I like me a good cup of coffee, but that creamer said nah. Okay. So I got me some almond milk creamer. I actually got it in caramel instead of vanilla. So I'm a little bit disappointed in myself. But anyway, I'm sorry. That's not what you came here for. Okay. So we see Tim and Jennifer. Tim texts Jennifer to meet him in the park so they can talk over their relationship. Tim says that he saw things going differently in the time that he was here, and he thought that it would end with a marriage proposal, and he just doesn't, know where the relationship is. He's like, if I ask you to come to America, would you say yes? Do you still want to be with me? She says, yes, I want to be with the person, that I fell in love with, and I want to have a family so badly, but it has to be the right person. And she's not sure if they can work anymore. And her and her daughter need stability, and she needs him to be a man. And I okay, I understand that Tim has a lot of problems, but like on Reddit, a lot of people saying that they use this as like he's using it as like a form of manipulation because she's pretty and he's not, and he's trying to like in the way of not having the sex with her or not making her feel as attractive as she is, then it would make her feel bad by her about herself, and then put him or put her on his level. I don't know. This is what I just heard from Reddit. I don't really I don't know. I think that there are some things that Tim is struggling with. Yes, there are. But some things I'm just like the swing, getting in the swing. If you got a fair heights, I don't understand that. But in the whole gay name calling, that kind of make me upset. But like, I don't know. Anyway, he says that what if I asked you to marry me right now? What would you say? And she says, I don't know. And he says, well, that's the problem because I only have 4 days left, and how am I supposed to fix that? And she says, She doesn't want to make another marriage mistake. And then she starts crying and she's like, you need to change. And that's where I'm getting confused because I'm like, has he been that bad? And maybe I'm just naive and I don't see it, but has he been that bad to the point where it's like this homie needs to change? Like to the point, yes, he needs to change. That's not what I'm asking. But to the point where he is like she has been through it and she needs to cry. That's what I'm saying. Does that make sense? That's what I'm saying. So, um next day, we see that he is using the only thing that he got to offer her, apparently, which is money. And they go shopping because he wants to make her happy. So they spend about $151. I'm like, that ain't nothing. Okay. If you try to make me shop, I'm sorry. If you trying to make me happy, I'm going to need a smooth 1,000. I'm gonna need a smooth 1,000. A smooth $1,000. And then I'll be happy. Look at my hair. I'll be so freaking happy. Okay. So we still have the problem where Tim knows that Jennifer doesn't like Veronica being so close in their life. So Tim decides that Veronica and Jennifer need to be introduced via video, I FaceTime, video phone. That's what I was about to say. On my video phone. Anyway, um, so they all sit down, or no, it had to be the next day. It was the next day, yeah, because she had on that cute shirt. That shirt was cute. Okay, my stomach is a little bit too protruding to wear that crop top, but that shirt was cute, and she was giving me her hair was giving me body volume. She's very pretty. No, she's very pretty. I ain't seen nobody this pretty on the show since Fernanda, but Fernanda was stupid. So look at my hair. Look at it. What did I do to it? Y'all, somebody tell me what I fucking did to it. Oh, did I do this? Look at that. Yeah. Anyway, so they go and they sit down, they call Veronica. Veronica's like, hey, Jennifer's like, hey, okay, so I didn't know that y'all was that close. Do y'all have feelings for one another? You got feelings for the man? What's going on? She says, no, I don't have feelings for the man, but I did get all the stupid out of him. So it's very little stupid left in him. And Tim is like, can you not make me feel, not make me look like I'm a bad guy since I'm trying to impress her? And that's where I think things took a turn. Okay. I think that I may not understand if Tim is playing mind games, but I can definitely understand that Veronica is playing mind games. Okay. This girl then sat up here and said, so are you guys intimate? Are you guys being intimate? First of all, and Jennifer said she didn't like the question, but yet she answered the question. I would have said, girl, that ain't none of your business. Oh, he also met Chloe, the daughter. Um, she asked something. She said something else. She said something else after he said, "Can you not try to make me look like a bad person?" It seemed like a switch flipped. Oh, she said, "You're beautiful. Why would a beautiful woman like you want to be with him?" And I was like, what kind of drag? What kind of shade? What kind of malarkey? Veronica wants to D. Okay. And Veronica, I don't know if he told Veronica that he was going to call or he just magically FaceTimed her, but it just seemed like she wasn't in the best moods. And that transferred over to her talking a little bit spicy about Tim. Um, yeah. Jennifer said she felt offended when she asked about the sexual connection or the physical connection. But then Jennifer just was like, we're doing great, but we can do better. Like, girl, I would have said, I don't. A lady never kisses and tells. I would have said that because if I would have said something else, I would have been the bitch. So anyway, that's it. Moving on to who else? Um, oh Lord, Angela. Did I ain't talk about Angela? Angela and Michael. They FaceTime her damn daughter to ask if Angela can tote the egg. If I hear tote one more damn time, I thought she was just saying it, but really, I can tote your egg. Tote, tote, tote. No. And I said, we asking the same daughter who told her ass no before she went to Nigeria. Oh, we asking her. Oh, okay. So Michael comes in. Skylar is like, "What's up? What's going on?" Then Angela feels like it's best to tell Michael to ask Skylar, "We want your egg." She said, "No." Angela said, "I pay you for the egg." She said, "Girl, you could have $1,000,000 and I wouldn't let you take my damn egg." And she said, "You a damn liar." She said, "Oh no, I'm the damn truth." And let me tell you something. You wanna know why? Because this is my egg and I feel like it's my egg, so it's my child, and I don't want to give up my child. And if that's how she feel, that's how she feel. Honestly. Honestly. I could be like, it's just an egg, but it's her egg. So if she feel like, and plus, honestly, I don't really need no other explanation but to say, girl, hell no, these are my eggs. Look, these are my fucking eggs. And then she said, y'all don't need no damn baby anyway, okay? You sitting up here, Michael, if you loved my mother, you wouldn't make her go through this, considering the fact that she's 90 years old and she can't tote an egg anymore. She can tote an egg, yes, but there are complications. And she ain't Janet Jackson. She ain't got Janet Jackson money. Fuck. You can get pregnant at 50 if you're Janet Jackson. If you have the money, you can get pregnant. If you ain't got the money, you can't get pregnant. So let it go. Let it go. So the next scene we see, oh, Michael says that, well, Angela knows that I want a child, so this is going to make me a little unhappy. Michael, be with someone your own age. Then you don't have to ask her daughter. You don't have to ask her daughter over FaceTime to give her your egg. You can have the sex with your lady who is still in the cycle of reproduction. Okay? We see a scene. Michael wants Angela to meet up with his friends. Angela don't like his friends. So, Angela, his friends sit down. Two of them that she knew. The other man, he was just here. Angela like, I don't like y'all asses. He like, what? What's going on? The man in the middle was the one giving me all the smoke. He was like, what? What are you talking about? What is going on? She said that she was sick one time and she was on video chat with Michael, and Michael was like with his friends, and she didn't want Michael to go out because she needed emotional support. And as she was begging Michael not to go out, his friends were in the back laughing at her pain. And she said, who does something like that? And she also was angry because last time she came and she was asking them questions, they wouldn't answer her questions. So clearly they only have Michael's back and they don't care anything about this relationship. Not rule number one. It's all good to be buddy-buddy with people, okay? But you are out of your ever-loving mind if you think that anybody owes a certain type of loyalty to you. because you a lady who's dating their friend. You're dating their friend. Why in the hell would I look at you and be like, anyway? So they all talking. She like, I don't like you. I don't like you. I don't like nothing about y'all. Y'all, I want y'all to stay away from them. So then she takes her ice and she throws it in the man's lap. The man gets up. Then the man who had on the black shirt, he was like, it seems like you're really not a good person. So he gets up. Then the last man, he was like, Angela, I don't feel like everything is going to be resolved with you yelling at us. So tell me what this is really about. She's like, I don't want y'all around him. You know, y'all ain't good influences, blah, blah, blah. He says, well, I don't think it was a big issue for Michael to have gone out. She says, I don't care what you think. And then she drives him off as well. And I said, what? Either Michael is really, 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 really wanting to go to the United States, or Michael ain't got a backbone the first, second, or third. Because there is no way I would let you sit up here and talk to my friends like that in a way where we probably ain't gonna be friends no more. No. And it's so weird because in what universe does his friends have anything to do with anything that you're talking about? This is Michael's fault. If you wanted Michael to stay and he didn't, it's Michael's fault. And you think that with age comes, wiseness, but apparently, well, does she want to have a baby? So apparently she ain't that wise. Anyway, that's the end of their freaking story. Oh, Michael also says that he knows that the relationship will be ruined or will be very different with his friends than it was before. You think? You think? Anyway, who else do I have? I think I have two left. I got three left. How many people is it? One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. See, that's the thing. Caesar shouldn't be on this bitch. It should only be six people. Ugh. I think I'm gonna stop talking about Caesar, y'all. So if y'all come here for Caesar, just leave. Um, we see Benjamin and Akini. They're going back to the Airbnb, and she's sleepy, because of the liquor. The next morning, he goes in there and gives her a drink. He gives her a drink, but the drink already had water in it, and he put more water in it, which makes me weirded out. Like, did you drink some of it and then put more water in it? Because I don't want that. Anyway, she says he asks her what does she remember, and she says she remembers drinking and her food. He says that he was disappointed and hurt, and she said why, and he was like because you were intoxicated, and she said did something happen, and he's like you were just disagreeing with me and being loud, and he said so alcohol won't be a part of our lives, right? And she said I had one drink. Do you drink? On occasion. Oh, okay. So I can't drink. Well, I don't think that you should get that level of drunk. So she says, so if I get drunk again, you're gonna be mad. What? Like what? What? And he says, I just don't want you to get to that point. She says, look, I don't drink often. You don't drink often. I'm not out here being no drunk. So just get over it. Okay? And he says, okay. Okay. So next thing they go to the market and they are going to go get groceries for Akini's family. The groceries were and this is seen as a token of appreciation. The groceries were $80 and she said that's a month's salary. And I said a month's salary for who? Benjamin or you? Cause ain't you a graphic designer? That's not a month's salary. And I know, but ain't she's a graphic designer? Literally, go to her Instagram. It says graphic designer. Come on. Anyway, web designer, graphic designer, girl. Anyway, um, the groceries were $80. Benjamin is still nervous about the bride price because if he doesn't have the right amount of money, he's just gonna be SOL. So Akini says that there is something else that she hasn't told him, and she's nervous that when she tells him, he won't like it. So she tells him the order of how things are going to go. And then she says, okay, I won't be in the room, but if the bride price gets accepted, they'll call me in and tell me that it went well. If it didn't, then they'll call me in and say that it didn't go well. And she says, also, I have to tell you, once you give the bride price and my father accepts it, we're going to be married. And he said, excuse me, we ain't going to be engaged? And she said, no. And he says, well, the United States doesn't see that as a real marriage. She says, well, in Kenya, we do. So once you get that bride price money, we're legally married. I'll be your wife. And then that sends Benjamin into a spiral. So he up on the rooftop. I have no idea what rooftop he's on, but he's on a rooftop. He calls his friend. He's like, his voice is a little bit breaking. I don't know why his voice was breaking, but he was like, I feel like I'm in a rock and a hard place, or as his friend said, a rock and a hard spot. And obviously I want to be with her. I came here to get married. I feel conflicted because I did come here to get married, but also, I didn't want to come here and have a whole wife. And what if things aren't beautiful the entire time? And that would mean that I'm already married. And, she hasn't met my son. And basically he doesn't know if he's going to skip the bride price ceremony and just dishonor her and her family, or if he'll go. And um his friend is very confused as to why Akini didn't tell him this earlier, because this would have shaped the entire trip. And he says he has 14 hours to decide. The clock is ticking. It's ticking, y'all. It's ticking. Okay. We see Rebecca and Ziad. They're driving to the Sahara Desert because he's planning this beautiful vacation for them, probably with her money. She just wants these last few days to be romantic and just about them. We're going to have a little bit of noise, you guys. So she wants the last few days of them being together to be romantic and just about them. And even though she was confused about what he needed the money for, she still believes that he's in this relationship for the right reasons. So they go to the desert. That's where he's planning to propose. He says that they've had some ups and downs, but in order to get to America and live with Rebecca, he has to make her love him more than she already does. Well, in 2 days, I don't know how that's going to happen. Anyway, he hides the ring. She goes to get tea. She says that she's still nervous about having to tell him that she's married. Then we see them outside of the tent. They are arguing. She says, I can't believe that you would think that I would have a picture of my ex on my phone. But you did have a picture of your ex on your phone. So, that's true. Anyway, she was trying to show him a picture of her grandchildren, and she ended up showing him a picture of her Moroccan ex on the phone. He got angry. She says that she doesn't like to look at him in order to delete him, and he doesn't trust her, so that makes her angry. And it reminds her of her relationship with her ex, and it also makes her feel like he's questioning her commitment to the relationship. And then she goes and she's like talking to herself, I might as well be with my ex, blah blah blah. Then we see him, he comes out and he says, I'm a very jealous and controlling man. He does not say that to her, he says it to the camera. And she says, Hasn't she said over and over that I don't want a man who's jealous and controlling? But it seems as though you do want a man who's jealous and controlling because that's what you always go for. I'm sorry, not always, because I don't know you like that. But in your past in your two relationships that you've talked about, well, this one that I've seen, and then the other one, you like jealous and controlling men. Um, so he said, "Yeah, I'm gonna forgive you or whatever." But he took her hand. He had her neck, okay, like this, and I said, you know, you Rebecca, you're old enough to know that he was going to hit you or he was going to apply pressure in a way that was uncomfortable to you. Like, I don't understand. I don't understand. Um, she says that this little occasion has really made her see not that she don't need to be married to him, not that she don't need to go back to the United States and get her shit together. No, this occasion has made her see that it's going to be very hard. It's going to be harder than she thought to tell this man that she's still married. Yeah, it is. Because clearly this man is a little bit, well, he said it. I'm jealous and controlling. And you don't want that, but yet you're going to be with a man who's exactly like that. So, anyway, last but not least, we always talk about my girl Darce and dumbass Tom. Okay, so we see Darcy and Tom. They're going to Nottingham, his birthplace. They have not spoken to each other since last night, you know, when the crying and stuff happened. So Darcy and Stacy are going downstairs in their matching outfits, and Darcy is very like, fuck you, Stacy. Um, Stacy is like, you know, I think that Tom is really good for you and all that shit. And she's like, oh, now you think Tom is good for me? And he was just off put by the way that we were acting. And of course, Stacy is like, maybe he's just off put by you. No, Stacy, maybe he's off put by you and your ugly ass. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't like Stacy. Anyway, um, she feels that Stacy is the one to blame for Tom not proposing. Tom would have never proposed, so don't let that hold you back, Darcy. Stacy says, "Don't blame me for Tom being uncomfortable," and Stacy tells the camera that Darcy is just a little bit bitter and hurt at her and Florian's relationship, and this is what I didn't like. Stacy, feeling angry, went out to Tom and said she's in a little bit of a mood. So when Darcy came out and she wasn't, you know, like trying to kick it with Stacy. Of course, Tom is like, you're the only one who's having an attitude. You're the only one who's being an ass. You know what needs to happen? Florian needs to be with Darcy and Tom needs to be with Stacy. I think that would be better. Because Darcy, I'm sorry, Stacy and Tom both seem like assholes. Or they both are assholes. Anyway, so um Tom tells her while they get in the car that she's caused all the problems in Albania, and if she causes problems in front of his family, then he won't have that. She says, bro, I ain't, look, if I done caused all the problems, I done caused all the problems. I won't cause no problems with your family, but it is what it is. So they're back in the UK and in his hometown, but they've barely spoken to one another, and she doesn't know where she stands in the relationship. But I don't think that they have a relationship, so that's where you stand, not in a relationship. Anyway, I've spent 34 minutes talking about this. Um, we see Darcy in the car. She getting a little misty eyed, and she's apologizing. And instead of being just a fucking person and accepting the apology that Darcy gave, he had to say, well, you know, the only person you can work on is yourself. He just like to preach and like to feel like he's better than someone. And then we find out that his ugly ass sister is just as intense as Stacy is. As far as, even though it seems like Tom is a bitch and won't say nothing to her, he got a crazy sibling dynamic as well. So I'm like, oh, really? So we said we did all this talking about Darcy and Stacy, but yet You won't even take this girl to your apartment because your sister lived next door and it would just be uncomfortable. That sounds like a bunch of bullshit. Anyway, um we see them in the confessional. She says that she doesn't want to lose him, and he says, "You won't lose me." And then they give a kiss and a hug. Just I didn't believe it. Sorry, I didn't. So, Tom is nervous that his sister won't like her, and also Darcy is nervous that she'll be judged like she was judged with Jesse's parents. I've never seen that scene, but I need to see it. I definitely need to see it. So they go to a cottage, and Tom says that he needs to spend more time with her to know that it can work. They go to the park to walk his dog, and he says that he was happy that they went to Albania because he saw some things, a different side of her, but he still wants to be with her. And then we see Darcy with a wig on. In the confessional, Darcy had to have a wig on because you can tell when that was her hair and when that was not her hair. Okay, that's all I got to say. So I'm sorry. Um, when he was picking up his dog from his sister's house, his sister said that she wanted to meet uh Darcy. So they go out to dinner. Tom says that he wants his sister's opinion because his feelings are strong for Darcy and they're becoming stronger. So the sister comes in. The sister is like, "Oh, how did Albania go?" He says the sister is amazing and Florian is like a brother. And I said, okay. Um, the sister then got the nerve to say, "This is her and her." I guess that was her boyfriend, her husband. The sister gonna say, "It's exactly who I expect him to be. Someone with big boobs, a lot of makeup, fake eyelashes." And I said, "Girl, look at you. Look at you. With that damn blush right in the fucking center of your damn face. You gonna sit up here and talk about Darcy." And you know what? Darcy didn't look half bad yesterday. Darcy did not look half bad. And you gonna sit up here with your face looking like that? Looking like that. Ain't gonna sit up here and try to say anything about Darcy. What's what's wrong with a fake eyelash? Huh? What's wrong with some makeup? What's wrong with any of that? I'm very confused. Anyway, so girl, that damn blush sitting up here looking like that. He says that he finally took his sister's advice and looked for someone to love. And, regardless of the hurt. And Darcy says, "I won't hurt you. I never will. Trust me." And then she comes and she says, "Oh, I know you won't hurt my brother. I won't allow you to." So she got some sly comment and she like, "But I just wonder if one woman will be enough for him." Because apparently Tom is a rolling stone. So after the dinner, Tom says that sometimes he introduces women to his sister that he knows his sister won't like, just so it can be easy for him to break up with them. And so she says, "So you use your family as a crutch sometimes?" He says, "Yes." She says, "But I'm not like that." And he says, "I know." And then she says, "I love you." And he says, and then they look at the camera. And I was just very, very, what's the word? I don't like it. Anyway, that's the end. I spent 39 fucking minutes on this. Why? Why? Anyway, if you like this review, you can like, comment, and subscribe. You can follow me on Instagram, Twitter. Everything else you need to know about me will be down below. My name is Brielle. I make beats. I sing songs. If you like what you see, come on along. Bye.